Hello, August. How are you? It's Past Podcast. We'll be recording every day for the month of August. Having to remember not to say April is an adjustment since I just did this a couple of months ago. But this is the past, or the Past Podcast. And we're podcasting each day in August. So check out the show. You might find something new. Episode 116, rolling into the podcast every day in August. Having to remember not to say April as I remind you all in the intro. Probably have said it in the outro, but I just know I try to make sure to remember that it's still August. Change of seasons. Leos, congrats, y'all have had y'all time. Virgo season is here, not far away from my big day. So, what's good, y'all? The past is back again. I'm your host, BT. Before I get started, I do want to, before I give my random story, and then I'll go into today's episode. Podcasts are uploaded using the Spreaker app, and they are recorded using the Blue Yeti microphone, and those links are in the show notes. Before I talk about today's topic, I want to say to you all, and I don't know if it was evident in yesterday's show, and if not, then that's great. But today, I ask that you all bear with me. I am not 100%, but I'm fixing that and working on getting myself back on track, because anyone who knows me knows I don't like being sick. I've even been honest enough in saying I'm one of those people who would be so sick or so bad to the point where I will literally keep make it so that when I do a recording that I would probably have like a half a lung and sit and try to record and everything. So I hope you all understand it's not that I don't want to come on the mic and be ready to go, but today was kind of a in and out day of just energy and strength. But luckily, I do feel good. I mean, I'm feeling a little better. Not 100% yet. Hopefully, I have some rest and maybe kind of do a wash, rinse, and repeat of what I'm doing today. I should be back on track. So, thank you all for bearing with me on the show. Last night, I kind of went through 50 different episodes and finally ended up doing a pretty good story about domestic violence. I will tell you all tomorrow, and it'll probably be repeated in the end of the show. Tomorrow's show, I'm glad because I can actually, I'll go ahead and give you all a heads up because I'm transparent. There will be a twin appearance because the story that I was attempting to do, I couldn't do it the way I wanted to, so I kind of reevaluated that option, and now looking at my options now, it's a much better circumstance to get it completed the way I want to. So that's the best way I can describe or explain that whole process. But 116, I've told y'all about 115, I've told y'all about 117. I guess you want to know what 116 is about. Well, I'm glad you asked. And this is a unique topic that has kind of made its mark, and I'm kind of adhering to it myself. And this might be something that may come as no surprise with other platforms. I'm not going to say all platforms are going to take suit because Twitch probably won't adjust to it. But it is about I don't want to say the overusage, but just knowing when to be filtered and when to be unfiltered. A couple of YouTubers in the NBA 2K community have expressed one has expressed their thoughts, and the other one has kind of modified recordings according to the changes and transitions, I guess, coming along the way, as far as not being as profound in language. Literally, they don't want you to use a lot of profanity if you can help it. Now, I will say one thing, and I feel as though this should be addressed because it's just, y'all know I'm always gonna keep it as real as I can. When a person is involved in a show or involved in, say, episode or an activity, there are some things that you can change, you can adjust for the benefit of the show and for the benefit of the recording. But if you have to make good content, and the only way you can get good content is with profanity, you may need to realign your content. I don't know how else to put it. And I'm not sitting here telling anybody how to do that show, because I've seen people who do videos that are really good videos, and even with leaving, even if they do have anything that they may say, they may edit it, and it's a pretty decent edit. For instance, one streamer yesterday was very frustrated, and it showed in his recording because every other word had a term or two in it that kind of made it clear how they felt and where they stood. So I'm sharing that and saying this to you all because you can still be you, but still be cordial in how to be you, if that makes sense. And I think we sometimes don't know the severity of that, but it helps to remember. And this is almost kind of I won't say a spinoff, but it kind of blends into what I've addressed before. And I know I'm probably beating a dead horse, but I feel like even content creators, those who are editing content for other people, things of that sort, we have to remember this as individuals. And and I'm in the YouTube, Twitch, podcast community a little bit with what I'm about to say. And like I said, I know some of y'all have heard it before, so if you have, you can probably hit pause or you can fast forward about 20 seconds. But that is, you are and you represent your brand. What you want your brand to look like and how you want your brand to present itself, it's all in your control. Now, what you do with that control or with that power is up to you. I'm not sitting here saying that you should sit on, and I'm being full transparent and full understanding on both sides. I'm not sitting here saying that you need to sit and wear your 3-piece suit and have your Bible and read scriptures. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do conversations and have things that you're talking about, and this is even, I've even realized this, and let me finish what I'm saying, but then I'll continue. When you're doing YouTube, even down to doing blogging, you can do blogging and you can have an unfiltered moment or two. It's okay. It's acceptable because it's your thoughts. Just understand, your thoughts are who you are and who you represent. And being frustrated 24/7 is not always the case with some people. Some people, it's just natural to them to write or be who they are in their expression. I'll give my perspective on this from a legitimate standpoint, and I feel like it's likely not going to change. Now, let's, for the record, and I know podcasting is a different medium or a different platform, but it still applies. I will record different shows or different episodes. Some episodes are honest and truthful, and they are more off the cuff. I don't know if it's going to circulate through the podcast community, because that's very tough to do, because then you're telling a person, you're kind of putting it in the hands of Apple, Google, Stitcher, podcast.com, all of those sites, to monitor what a person is or isn't saying, or how they speak or how they address things. Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm looking at someone's stream and they constantly show their eyes from this just recovery of frustration. They had to recover themselves. That's the best way to describe it. Anyway, it's all about who you are And once in a while, you let you let your guard down, let have a little fun, a little bit, have things handled. I know on the audio side it's a lot different, and I'll kind of take it a step further because this is something that a lot of people don't think about, and I've had people address this with me, and I'll come clean and saying it now, and it probably won't have anything to do with where this is going, but it's just kind of how I'm looking at it. I personally, and I'm not sitting here saying a whole bunch of people came to ask me, but I've had it addressed like, why don't you do radio? Like, why wouldn't you just go into internet radio, or why not give that a chance? Well, first thing, at the time when it was addressed, I didn't have the equipment I have now. When I was looking at that as an idea, I think when it comes to the internet radio, I'm hoping I don't record over what I've already recorded. And if I have, I'm sorry, y'all. Still kind of testing out my software. With internet radio, you have freedom, but you also have like a strict process on doing things. Now, I'm going to add this in as a factor, and this is even with podcasters. When you have, like, if you're doing a show, there are different types of podcasters, and a lot of people already know this. And I know this is like when you were doing YouTube, how you getting into podcast. Don't worry, it's a method to my madness. Y'all know how I do. When you're doing, you have some podcasters who they have a full show lined up. They have soundboards. They have everything edited. They have different. Each person recording has their microphone and all that type of jazz. Then you have those who it's a recording, and when the recording is going, it's literally improv. So you may say things and it's like, all right, I may need to go back and edit that at some point. And the editing works, but you can kind of, it's almost like different strokes, different folks, I guess is the best way to put it. But how I look at it with, and I guess what I'm trying to say is, I can do my recording even with the intro when I talk about the microphone and I talk about Spreaker. I'm not obligated to name those companies or name those brands, but I do that to for promotion, for for publicizing, and kind of see if they may possibly give me a sponsorship. Blue microphone. Y'all hear me? I'm just gonna put it out there each time I can. But it's when you have podcasts or shows that are more structured. They'll say this section is being sponsored by da 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 da. Or when you're doing internet radio, you have to, make sure you mention different companies or different businesses in the show and not leave them out. So things like that come into play too. But I know this is way off topic from YouTube. But yeah, a couple YouTubers are kind of making it known, and you're kind of seeing it a little bit with a lot of people who do YouTubes, like they got plural, but who are recording videos on YouTube. They're very cautious. Like they still will be who they are and speak what they feel. But if they get to a curse word, you will hear. It's almost like FCC based, so they'll have like a little sound effect come in like right when they say something. So, just keep an eye on that. And if you're an up and coming YouTuber, and this is probably going to be my YouTube advice, because I've seen so many people do this, and now I guess it's kind of like it's running its course, where I'm just watching it and I'm like, I am so tired of it that I don't know what to do. And that is, if you want to join the queue and the folks who do reaction videos, do reaction videos in your own way that works for you. And don't do reaction videos because you see a bunch of other YouTubers doing reaction videos. It's tiring. It's cumbersome. We get it. It is cool, but it's starting to become worn down. And that's just my best way to describe it. Like I loved seeing it before, and I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of dope. But by the 12th, anytime it's to the point that a YouTuber is reacting to another YouTuber's channel about another YouTuber reacting to someone else's YouTube, if you don't understand what I mean, you just go on YouTube and watch certain big names like OSN, Soluminati. I'm naming a lot of them who in the 2K community, but people who do reaction videos in general. They're doing a reaction video about someone else reacting to a video about them. And it's like, doesn't, okay, to each his own. But anywho, I've kind of ran my course. I don't want to not rushing the show. It's just something that kind of crossed my mind, and I was thinking about it today. And I'm going to warn you all now, because it's only Wednesday, but I've kind of got a good idea of what I will be addressing on Saturday for the weekly podcast. If you are into sports, you will definitely want to tune in. If you are into video games, you will definitely want to tune in. If you love music, the artist spotlight might blow your mind. Like, I've been very quiet and cautious on sharing any information, but I feel as though sooner or later I'm gonna do what I've been doing so far with kind of promoting a little bit of what's to come down the pike with the show. So I'm just giving you the heads up. Like I said, tomorrow, depression, I feel like I have a very good leeway with that as being a topic, as well as, along with it being interview or QA type conversation, but not being too over the top, I guess, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with today. As always, I appreciate you tuning in, whether you catch it live, whether you catch it once it goes up, playing it directly from the different sources, or if you're downloading it and listening to your own convenience. Trust me, every listen is appreciated. Until next time, the past is signing out. Take care. Another episode complete. Another show shared. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you checking out any current shows or previous episodes. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can look me up on the Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter under Past Podcast. If you'd like to go to the website, it is available at pastpodcast.com, where you can listen to this episode as well as previous episodes. Until next time, y'all take it easy.